सुबह जाऊनी सर।
স্যার শুভুনি কিছু স্যার। হ্যালো স্যার।
Excuse me, sir.
Unit 4. So, the rise of the Chalukyas, the Pallavas, and the Pandya.
सर मुल्टू पढ़ाନ୍ତୁ सर କିଛି सर ଆମେ सर सुबी नहीं सर हम କିଛି सर जानिनु।
Welcome to all participants in this PHIC 132 online class. Today, we shall discuss about Unit 4, 5th and 6th. Unit 4 is Kingdoms in the Deccan and the South. Unit 5 is the Pallavas, the Pandyas, and the Kalachuris. Unit 6, the Kadambas, the Chalukya Badapi, the Cholas, and the Hoysalas. So, Unit 4th, it is Kingdom in the Deccan and the South. So, the rise of the Chalukyas, the Pallavas, and the Pandyas. First, we have to discuss about the rise of the Chalukyas, the Pandyas, and the Pallavas. The Chalukyas became the sovereign power with Pulakesi first. He laid the foundation of his kingdom by making the hill near Badami in the Bijapur district of Karnataka into a strong fortress in 543 and performed a horse sacrifice. His successor overthrew the Kadambas and annexed their kingdom gradually, and also subjected the Mauryas of Konkan. With the expedition of Pulakeshin II, the Chalukyas became the paramount power in Deccan, as the western Ganges and Alupas in the south, and the Latas, Malavas, Gujarats in the north offered their submission to him. The army of Pulakeshin II checked the forces of Harshavardhana in the bank of the Narmada. Pulakeshin II also defeated the Vishnu Kundins of Andhra Delta. Vishnu Kundin of Andhra Delta, he defeated. But he was not satisfied, demanding just offer of submission as the Krishna Kaveri Delta with almost 1 million acres of rich arable land was too valuable a position. So about 621 CE, he sent his younger brother Vishnu Vardhan to consolidate the conquest and take over the area. In 631 CE, Vishnu Vardhana was allowed to form his own kingdom. Vishnu Vardhan, he was allowed to form his own kingdom. So, began the line of the Chalukya of Bhengi, or Eastern Chalukya, who remained in control of the area for more than 500 years. Thereafter, the rise of Pallavas began with Simha Vishnu about the middle of the 6th century CE. He put an end to the Kolabra intergenum in Tanda in Mandalam, Kanchi region. That was the Kanchi region, and extended his kingdom southward up to the Kaveri Delta. Kaveri Delta. So he was succeeded by Mahendra Varman first, who annexed territories in the north up to the river Krishna. The Pallava king also secured submission from the neighboring chieftains and kings, and thus reached the zone of influence of the Chalukya of Badami and of the Pandyas. Even the Pandyas had to accept their overlordship briefly. Thus, by the middle of the 7th century CE, the Pallavas had set up a powerful regional kingdom in South India. Their power began to weaken from powerful regional kingdom in South India. Their power began to weaken from the mid-8th century, where the Chalukyas were being replaced by the Rashtrakutas in the Deccan. By the early 10th century CE, the Pallavas' rule came to an end when Aparajata was defeated by Aditya Chola first. Thereafter, the rise of the Pandyas. The Pandyas came to light with the Kandava towards the close of the 6th century CE, where he suppressed the Kalavas. The Pandyas ruled in southern district of Tamil Nadu with the Bhangi river basin as the heartland of the kingdom. They constantly tried to extend their sway over the Kaveri Delta in the north and Cherak country, which means Kerala, the early name of Kerala was Cherak, in the southernmost. So now the conflicts between different powers. There were some different powers. They were always in conflicts. The political history of this period is marked by frequent wars between Chalukya Badami and Pallavas and between Pandyas and the Pallavas. So Narasimha Varman attacked the Chalukyas, captured Badami and probably killed Pulakesi II. The situation was shaped by the letters of Vikramaditya I. He drove out the Pallavas, formed an alliance with the Pandyas, and repeatedly raided Pallava territory. The reign of one of his successors, Vikramaditya II, is especially marked in this connection, for he is said to have overrun and looted Kanchi 3 times. So there were several conflicts. It was always the Pallavas who were the target of attack. The same is true of the Pandyas who fought repeatedly with the Pallavas for the control
Hello,
of
sir.
Kaveri Delta. The Sangam literature
Hello.
as well as the accounts of Bhimsang suggest that the Bhaigai River Valley, the core of Pandya kingdom, was relatively poor agriculturally. The Pandyas must have realized that if they wanted to be rich and powerful, they would have to control the rich Kaveri Delta. They seemed to have thought the Pallavas with this purpose in mind, and by the early 9th century CE, they eventually came to control this area. So there were some minor rulers there in the south and the delta and the Deccan. The lesser kings and chieftains took part in the conflict of regional kingdoms as the subordinate allies of one or the other of these powers. Pulakesi II had to subdue the bonus allies of the Palhas before attacking Narasimha Varman first. Similarly, Palhav General Uday Chandra engaged in battles with Sahara King Udayana and Nisada chieftain Prithvi Tyagraha, who probably sided with the Chalukya. The subordinate allies shared not only in the plunder but could add new areas to their real agreement. So there were various dimensions of their political confines. ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଦିଗ ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କର ରାଜନୈତିକ ସଂଘର୍ଷ ପାଇଁ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଦିଗ ଅଛି. An important offshoots of the Pallava Chalukya conflict was the emergence of the kingdom of Chalukya of Lata or South Gujarat. As a result of Narasimha Varman's occupation of Badami and the death of Pulakesi II, there was terrible confusion and political disorder in the Chalukyan kingdom. In the task of restoring unity to it, suppressing the hostile forces, and of driving out the Chalukyas, Vikramaditya I had been greatly helped by his younger brother, Jayasimha Varman. In return, Vikramaditya rewarded his brother by giving away South Gujarat to him. So there were other relation with other countries of Pallavas. A noteworthy feature of South Indian politics at this time was an active interest in the political affairs of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. In the battle with the Chalukyas, we hear that Narasingha Varman first had a Lankan prince Maravarma on his side. He had been driven into exile and sought refuge at the Pallavan court. So the Pallavan seems to have taken interest in and somehow influenced the politics of Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia also had a relation with the Chalukyas. So it is possible that Nandi Varman II, Palla Varmalla came from Southeast Asia to succeed to the Pallava throne in mid-8th century. We also hear of the powerful fleet of Nandi Varmantha, and a Tamil record in Thailand mentioning a Vishnu temple and a tank. So Kerala also seems to have continued under the rule of the Perunals of this period. Although the details of the political history of the period are lacking, the famous ruler in this line was Cheramen Perunal. He seems to have pursued his religions and religious policy in some extraordinary manner, so that the joiners, the Christians, Saivites, and Muslims do not just praise him as a patron, but actually claim him as a practitioner of their own religions. So thereafter, we have to discuss about the political organization. The king and the higher stratum of administration. We shall now proceed to discuss the patterns of administration that prevailed in these kingdoms. In theory, the king was the source of all authority, all in all. The king was all in all. He assumed high-sounding titles such as Maharaja, Bhattaraka, Dharma Maharaja, Raja, etc. In the beginning, kingship was governed by the Vedic idols. At the very beginning, the kingship that was governed by the Vedic idols. According to the Vedic idols, they were governed. So, we find kings proclaiming in their inscription that they perform horse sacrifice, Aswamedha Yajna. Horse sacrifice, Aswamedha Yajna. And other Vedic sacrifice such as Rajasya. During this period, this sacrifice did not have the social significance they had in the later Vedic period, but they had a special political meaning as they served to underline the independence of a particular king. So the Aswamedha Yajna that reflected, identified about the king was an independent king. So justified his right to rule. He was the independent king as well as he was justified as the right to rule. So Pulakeshin first, founder of the Chalukya kingdom, performed a horse sacrifice to mark the beginning of his dynastic rule. So the king was helped by. The king was helped by.
सर किसी बुझी होनी सर.
They had
Hello.
categorized,
Hello.
and the king was assisted
Hello.
by his ministers at the court. Members
Hello,
of the
sir.
royal family, including the crown prince, took an important part in running the government at higher levels. Then there were a number of officials
Sir.
of various ranks who discharged various administrative
Sir.
duties. Discharge various duties.
Sir.
ସେହି ସମୟରେ ରାଜାମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର
कौन है
ମିନିଷ୍ଟର ମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା
कौन है
yes ତାଙ୍କର ରାଜ କର୍ମଚାରୀ ଏବଂ ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ତାଙ୍କର ରାଜକାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ପରିଚାଳନା କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସମୟ ସମୟରେ ତାଙ୍କର ପରିବାର ରାଜକୀୟ ପରିବାର ରାଜ ପରିବାର ମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଯେମିତି ଯୁବରାଜ
सर किसी बुझी होनी सर. बुझी होनी सर किसी. सर बुझी होनी किसी सर.
the kingdom was divided into a hierarchy of administrative units. In the Deccan, these units were called Visaya, Ahora, Rashtra, etc. From the 8th century CE, the developed trend in the Deccan of dividing kingdoms into a hierarchy of the multiple of 10 villages. Less upon a district consists of 12 villages. In the Pallava kingdom, the Nachi emerged as the main lasting unit of administration. Nachi was the lasting unit of administration. The king of this period realized the importance of agriculture. ସେହି ସମୟରେ ରାଜାମାନେ एग्रीकल्चर ବା कृषि प्रति ध्यान देइथिले कृषि थिला ସେହି ସମୟରେ प्रधान ତାଙ୍କର ଆର୍ଥିକ ଦିଗର ବିକାଶ ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ କୃଷିକୁ ବେଶୀ ପ୍ରାଧାନ୍ୟ ଦେଉଥିଲେ. The revenue from which was the main basis of their wealth and strength. Revenue collection ମଧ୍ୟ ପ୍ରଜାମାନଙ୍କ ଠାରୁ କରୁଥିଲେ ରାଜସ୍ୱ ଆଦାୟ ଯୋଉଟାକି ତାଙ୍କର ରାଜ୍ୟର ସମ୍ପଦ ଏବଂ ଶକ୍ତି ବୃଦ୍ଧି କରୁଥିଲା. It is significant that Nach, the basic political unit in Pallava, times also meant arable land in contrast of Kotu, which meant non-cultivable vast land. Kotu means non-cultivable vast land. So local associations were also there for the government, sound government, and they were also helpful to the government, helpful to the kings. ସ୍ଥାନୀୟ ସଂଘୀୟ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ମଧ୍ୟ ଥିଲା ଯେଉଁ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଦ୍ୱାରା ସେହି ସମୟରେ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ. Especially Pallava, why the importance of local corporate units in most important aspects of the lives of people. There were innumerable local groups. ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ local groups ଥିଲେ ଏବଂ association ସବୁ ଥିଲା. Restaurant, those were based on caste. ସେଗୁଡ଼ିକ caste ଉପରେ craft, position or religious persuasions. There were association of handicrafts like the weavers. Weaver ମାନଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟ ସଂଘ ଥିଲା ଯେଉଁମାନେ କି ରାଜ୍ୟ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ ବା ରାଜ୍ୟର ଯେଉଁ ବିକାଶ ପାଇଁ ଆର୍ଥିକ ବିକାଶ ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ବିଶେଷ ଭାବରେ ସହାୟ ହେଉଥିଲେ. Oil of merchants like the Nanodesis, merchant also there. ସେତେବେଳେ ବଣିକମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ବାଣିଜ୍ୟ କାରବାର କରୁଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇଠି ସଂଘ ତିଆରି କରିଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ରାଜକାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିଥିଲେ। The Monigramam and the 500 of Ayovale. Ayovale is the Tamil name of Ayovale, of students, of ascetics, of temple priest, ଛାତ୍ର ଛାତ୍ରୀ ମାନଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟ ସଂଘ ଥିଲା। ଯେଉଁ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଗ୍ରହଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟ ସଂଘ ଥିଲା। ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସମୟରେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ, ବିଶେଷ କରି ଶିକ୍ଷା କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଦେଶର ବା ରାଜ୍ୟର ବିକାଶ ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିଥିଲେ। ଟେମ୍ପଲ ପ୍ରିଷ୍ଟ, ମନ୍ଦିରର ପୂଜକମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ। In addition, there were 3 important territorial assemblies. ଏତତ୍ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଆଞ୍ଚଳିକ ଆସେମ୍ବଲି ସବୁ ଥିଲା, ପୁର, ସଭା ଏବଂ ନଗର। Ur was a non-Brahmanical village assembly. Ur ଏକ non-Brahmanical village assembly, ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରାମୀଣ ସଂଘ ଯେଉଁଥିରେ କି ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ମାନେ ନଥିଲେ। ସଭା was a village assembly. ସଭାଟା ଗାଁ ସଭା ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଉଥିଲା। ସେଥିରେ Brahmanas and Nagarams was an assembly where mercantile interest predominated. The members of an assembly used to meet annually, while the day-to-day tasks were looked after by a smaller executive body. So local administration was also there during the time of the rule of the kings of the Deccan and the South. Local administration, though the corporate units greatly lightened the burden of the government. The government had been lighted by the local administration. The local administration also helped the government. It not only gave a chance to people to air their grievances and complaints, but also fixed responsibility of the people themselves for redressing the grievances and solving the problem. ଗ୍ରାମୀଣ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ତାଙ୍କର ସମସ୍ୟାର ସମାଧାନ କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ। They strengthened the basic of the state by minimizing opposition to it as the people who do not hold the government responsible for these matters. So there were some relations between different categories of rulers. There were several types of rulers, various categories of rulers. ଅନେକ ପ୍ରକାରର ଅନେକ ଶ୍ରେଣୀର ଶାସକ ଥିଲେ। ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ବଡ଼ ରାଜା ଏବଂ ସାନ ରାଜା, ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ରାଜା ସବୁ ଥିଲେ। There are 2 views about the relation between powerful kings and minor kings and chieftains. First, it is said that smaller kings and chieftains regarded a big king. ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ସମ୍ମାନ ଜଣାଉଥିଲେ। Especially the Pallavas, as they are overlord on religious ground. The Pallava kings used to participate in elaborate religious ceremonies which gave them a high ritual status. It was this high ritual status that was respected by lesser kings and chiefs. The ଅଜଣା ରାଜା ବା ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ରାଜାମାନେ ପଲ୍ଲବ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବିଶେଷ କରି ସମ୍ମାନ କରୁଥିଲେ। ସେଇମାନେ ତ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପର୍ବପର୍ବାଣି ଏସବୁ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ବିକାଶ, ଧର୍ମୀୟ ବିକାଶ ଏସବୁରେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ। So this theory is not supported by historical evidence, although It cannot explain how these minor kings could shift their respect from the Pallavas to Chalukyas. So now the alternative view regards these smaller kings and chieftains as the feudatories of major powers. এই সান সান ছোট ছোট রাজা মানে এবং ଯେଉଁ ପାହାଡ଼ିଆ ଅଞ୍ଚଳର ରାଜାମାନେ ଯାହାକୁ ଗଡ଼ଜାତ ରାଜ୍ୟ କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା, ସେଇ ରାଜାମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ସମ୍ମାନ ଦେଉଥିଲେ ଏବଂ we have preferred a neutral term, feudatories ଭଳିଆ ଶବ୍ଦ ପ୍ରୟୋଗ ନ କରି ବା ଗଡ଼ଜାତ ପ୍ରୟୋଗ ନ କରି subordinate allies ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା to describe the relation of minor political powers with the major ones. So now we discuss about the another unit, the Pallavas, the Pandyas, and the Kalachuris. Pallavas.
Excuse
We
me,
have
sir.
just briefly discussed about the Pallavas in the last unit.
Excuse me, sir.
No.
Excuse me, sir. ଆପଣ ମଝି ମଝିରେ ଟିକେ ପେଜ ନମ୍ବରଟା ବି କହିଦେଲେ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା।
अच्छा अच्छा
ଓକେ ସାର୍, ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।
चलो नहीं लगा ଆପଣ ପ୍ରଥମେ ಇಲ್ಲ ठीक अच्छे पेज नंबर जानवर किसी आवश्यक नहीं आपण तो सेटा पढ़े एटा जस्ट गोटे क्लास टे होची डिस्कशन क्लास एवं शॉर्ट टाइम
Yes, sir.
शॉर्ट टाइम रे हमको सारिबार अछि प्राय 3 टा यूनिट जोटा कि डिफिकल्ट टास्क एवं तापर ऑनलाइन क्लास सेति पे एटा प्रॉब्लम होची आ पेज वाइज कले सेटा आपण माने परे देखिबे सेटा तबे जस्ट खाली गोटे सुनंतु. In order to understand their political history, the rule can be broadly divided and studied under the two main sections. The early Pallavas. The Pallavas were divided into two parts, two sections, two main sections. The early Pallavas and the imperial or later Pallavas. Many aspects of the history of early Pallavas are yet not very clear, and we have more information on the history of the imperial Pallavas starting from 6th century CE. A major part of the history of the latter is about continuous battle between the Chalukyas of Hatapi or Badami and the imperial Pallavas. So the Pallavas were able to regain their lost political significance in the Tondai Mandalam when Simhavishnu defeated the Kalavaras and thus inaugurated the rule of imperial Pallavas in 6th century CE. He also fought a battle against Cholas and Pandyas. He took the Virudas, which means royal titles of Abhani Simha, lion of earth, Simha Vishnu Pottarayam. So Beginning of Pallava Chalukya Palade, in which the succeeding rulers of these two dynasties also had a participate and contest one another. Pulakesi II, the powerful king of the Chalukyas of Bhattapi, who had earlier won a crucial battle against the great ruler of Vishyavati dynasty, Harshavardhana, defeated Mahendra Burman fast near Kanchi. Afterwards, Pulakesi II marched forward the capital of Pallavas. Mahendra Burman first, in order to save his capital, agreed to sign a peace of treaty with the Chalukans emperor and gave him northern territory of the kingdom. उत्तर अंचल को उत्तर राज्य को देदेले चालुक्य. Narasimha Burman succeeded his father Mahendra Burman first. He is considered to be the greatest Pallava ruler. Who is the greatest Pallava ruler? Father Narasimha Burman. He is considered to be the greatest Pallava ruler. He took the title of Mamalla, great warrior. Mamalla, great warrior. ग्रेट वारियर मान को मामाला कहते से नरसिंह वर्मन को मामाला उपाधि भूषित करा. He defeated and killed Chalukyan ruler Pulakesi II and destroyed the Chalukan capital Bhattapi. He took the title Bhattapi Kunda, conqueror of Bhattapi, in order to commemorate this remarkable victory. Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas also suffered defeat at his hand. He invaded Ceylon twice in order to help Mano Dhamma, an exiled Ceylonite prince who had come to him seeking his support in securing the throne of Ceylon. So now we discuss about the Pandyas. It is difficult to say about the origin of the Pandyas, origin of the term Pandyas with much accuracy. There are many different opinions regarding the term. We find the names of Pandyans monarchs mentioned in some important literary works, such as there were some literary works for the origin of Pandya. Pandya manankara tankar jo origin pai अनेक गुड़िए आमे कोर्स अच्छी उपादान सब अच्छी संगम लिटरेचर एपिक रामायण महाभारत श्रीलंका क्रोनिकल्स महाभंस श्रीलंका क्रोनिकल साहित्य करी अर्थशास्त्र कौटिल्य चाणक्य कहुए अर्थशास्त्र ये सब आमर पांड्य विषय जानापी आमको साहाय्य करे. Some historians go point that the term was derived from the level Pandava. It has also been suggested that if we look at the meaning of the word Pandya in Tamil, it means old country. Another speculation made in order to interpret its origin is that it comes from the word Pandi, which in Tamil means ball, and in Tamilaham, the ball was considered a symbol of strength and masculinity, symbol of strength, ball. Thus, it is argued that the Pandava rulers used in order to represent themselves as powerful soldiers. The first king who looked the title of Pandya was Kulasekara. His successor continued using this title, and this is how it is claimed that Kongumen of Pandya became synonymous with the dynasty. So, as in the case of Pallavas, the Pandyans rule can also be categorized into following sections. अनेक गुड़िए विभाग रही पांड्य मानकर शासन व्यवस्था Asano, early Pandyas, the first Pandyan Empire, the second Pandyan empires. So the earliest known ruler from the Pandya dynasty was Palya Gosapi, Mundu Kundumi, Peru Bhalandi, Nedu Chelian first, or Ayapudai, Padantha. Nedu Chelian was the fourth king of this kingdom. Its royal title, Aya Paudai Kodantha, means the one who vanquished Aryan. The name is mentioned in a significant Tamil literature piece, the Silapatikaram, written by a Chera prince, Lingo article. So, thereafter, Ari Kesari Moradharman was an important ruler of this empire. From this Pandyan inscription, we can get to know he defeated the Cheras a number of times. Chera mananku अनेक थर से परास्त करथिले एवं imprisoned the reigning Chera rulers. During the period of its son and successor Kochadain Ranadhiran, the Chalukya Pandyan conflict began, in which the Chalukya of Badami were assisted by the Western countries. So, thereafter, the Pallava Pandya conflict. Now we discuss about Pallava Pandya conflicts. Conflicts and alliances were outcomes of the political ambition of the ruler to acquire more and more resources for the efficient functioning of their respective community. The Chalukya of Vatapi and the Pallava of Kanchi were frequently at war with one another. The Pallava monarch Mahendra Barman first had expanded the territory of the Pallava dynasty towards the north of the river Krishna. The Vishnu Kundin became the neighboring kingdom located to the north of the Pallavas. Pulakesi II defeated Vishnu Kundins, and the territory of the Vishnu Kundins became the part of Chalukyan dynasty. So the Chalukyan kings made his brother Utcha Vishnuvardhan the viceroy of this conquered territory. Later, Vishnuvardhan founded the Eastern Chalukyan dynasty of the Chalukyan kingdom of Bhegi. With the decline of Vishnu Kundins, the Chalukyans became the neighboring territory of the Pallavas to the north. So, the third important dynasty which played a significant role in this class was the Pandyas of Madurai in the Bhaigai Valley. These three political powers were contemporaries and rose to prominence at almost the same time. The Pandyas and the Chalukyas were the neighboring kingdoms of the Pallavas. These wanted to extend their territorial boundaries at the expense of the other. The Pandavas were eager to take control of the fertile Kaveri delta. They saw it befitting to make the Chalukyas of Vatapi, who were constantly at war with the Pallavas, their political ally, to realize their political ambition. According to Ari Kesari, Parankusa, Moravahanafa, the Pandyan rulers made an alliance with Chalukyan kings, Vikramaditya I, and attempted to acquire some portion of the Pallava territory. So, the Chalukyas, in alliance with Western Ganga dynasty, also fought many battles against the Pallavas. Or the Pandyas made the Chalukyas their political ally, so as to check the political influence of the Pallavas. Likewise, Nandibhavan II, after the matrimonial alliance with Danti Durga, wanted to lessen the power of the Pandyas. As the Chalukya of Bhatapi were now displaced by Danti Durga, the Pallava monarchs are trying to form a confederacy of rulers to support him against the Pandyas. A kingdom named Kongu, located adjacent to the Western Ganga dynasty, was also one of kingdoms of the confederacy. The emperor of Kongo was defeated by the Pandian rulers, and the kingdom was merged into the Pandian territory. So thereafter, some interregnum in the downfall. The Pandavas were overthrown by the Pallavas. This created an interregnum, a period of political discontent. There was a political discontent of the Pandavas ruled by the Pallavas, and therefore this period is known as the Pallavara interregnum, which lasted from 3rd century to the 6th century or 7th century. The origin of the Pallavas is not known. It is believed that by the end of the 6th century, in the early 7th century, the Pandavas Kantun down re-merged. So the prestige of the Pallavas as an imperial power suffered setback when the Chalukans ruler Vikramaditya II invaded the Pallava territory and for a brief period of time captured Kanchipuram. Later, Nandibhavan III was defeated by a Pandya ruler, Srimara, Sri Vallabha near Kumbhakona. So, the Pandyan's kingdom also, the war of succession created the situation of civil war, and finally it became one of the causes of their downfall. So thereafter another dynasty, Kalachuris. Let us understand the political history of the Kalachuri dynasty. The origin of the Kalachuris, also known as the Hoyhayas, is not very clear. It belonged to a Kshatriya tribe. Kalachuri were belonged to a Kshatriya tribe. Kshatriya ବଂଶରେ ସେମାନେ ଆସିଥିଲେ. They are mentioned in the Brahmanical epics and the Puranas. The early Kalachuris or the Kalachuris of Mahismati rose in the present-day Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Some important rulers of this dynasty were in Kalachuri ବଂଶର ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ମହାନ ଶାସକମାନେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି କୃଷ୍ଣରାଜ, ଶଙ୍କର ଗଣ, ବୁଦ୍ଧରାଜ. So they ruled from 550 to 620 CE. The early Kalachuris could not flourish much because of their neighboring kingdoms, the Chalukyas of Bhatapi and the Matrakas of Vallabhi. The two kingdoms were two dominating political forces for them to expand, and finally their power was undermined. So by 9th century, we come across a number of colossal branches of the Kalachuris. The major ones were the Kalachuris of Chedi and Kalachuris of the Deccan. There are some other branches of the Kalachuris also. The Kalachuris of Ratanpur, the Kalachuris of South Kosala, the Kalachuris of Raipur, etc. So the Kalachuri dynasty of Ratanpur was founded by one of the sons of Kokalla, a Kalachuri ruler of Chedi. Kalachuri of Chedi became independent order. Chachala Dev fast in 12th century. He took the royal title of Maharajadhiraja upon Paramaheswara. The Kalachuri of Chedi or the Dahala Mandala rulers ruled from their capital Tripura, which is now a village near Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. The first important king of this branch was Kokala first, whose reign began in about 845 CE. He defeated the Pratihara Emperor Bhuja first. So thereafter, the significant rule of Ganga Dev began. He is considered as the greatest Kalachuri monarch. Ganga Dev से गोटे विशिष्ट महान कालाचुरी सम्राट भाव में विवेचित थे. During his reign, the Kalachuris became an important political power. राजनीतिक क्षमता, राजनीतिक शक्ति से तांका समय विशेष भाव में देखा जाइथिला. He took the title of Vikramaditya. विक्रमादित्य उपाधि भूषित थे. से विभिन्न राज्य जय करथिले एक्सपानिस्ट पॉलिसी सेति तांको अनेक गुड़िए नीति युद्ध नीति विस्तार नीति युद्ध करी जो राज्य विस्तार करवा से नीति से आपणे थिले. Defeated the kings of South Kosala, Mahasivagupta Jajati, and took the title of Trikali Dhipati. South Kosala Kasaka Mahasivagupta Jajati, and Lord of Trikalinga. He also defeated the Pala Emperor Mohipala first. Mohipala Emperor से परास्त करथिले एवं बनारस अंचल को से अधिकार करथिले. He formed an alliance with the rulers of the Paramaras and the Cholas against the Chalukya king Jayasingha, but Jayasingha defeated them. Later the Paramara ruler as well as the Chandala kings of Bundelkhand also defeated him. So the Kalachuris of Kalyani came into existence as a political entity during the 12th century. The rule was from 1156 to 1181 CE. So they ruled over part of the present-day Karnataka and Maharashtra. So there was administrative system of the royal dynasties in the Deccan and the south. To understand the administration under the Pallavas, let us look at their central administration and the local administrative units. The Pallava had a hereditary monarch. The king was the highest authority of each kingdom. राजा थिले तांको राज्यर उच्च पदाधिकारी अथॉरिटी प्रतिपक्ष सुप्रीम हेड ऑफ द जुडिशरी डिपार्टमेंट विचार विभाग रे से मध्य जने सुप्रीम हेड थिले. सुप्रीम लीडर ऑफ हिज आर्मी. He adopted the title of Dharma Maharaja to emphasize that they govern each kingdom according to the tenets of the Dharma Shastras. The Pallava administrative system was well structured. They appointed ministers called Amatyas, offered their services and assistance ଦେଇକି ଅମାତ୍ୟ ସେମାନେ ରାଜାମାନଙ୍କୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ଥିଲେ ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ The government department were headed by the royal members such as young princes of the kingdom. Apart from the royal family, members of the distinguished army officials were also given the task of supervising the royal departments. ରାଜକୀୟ ବିଭାଗଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅନେକଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଆର୍ମି ପଦାଧିକାରୀ ମାନେ ସେମାନେ ସୁପରଭାଇଜ କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ଶାସନକୁ କେମିତି ସୁଦୃଢ଼ କରାଯିବ କେମିତି ଜନମଙ୍ଗଳ କରାଯିବ ଜନହିତକର କରାଯିବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଥିଲେ The dynasty had a well-maintained army. ଏ ଯେଉଁ ପଲ୍ଲବ ବଂଶର ଅତି ସୁନ୍ଦର ଅତି ସୁପରିଚାଳିତ ଆର୍ମି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଥିଲା The administrative division of the Pallava kingdom here close resemblance to the Gupta Empire. The territory of the kingdom is referred to as Rashtriya Desa or Mandala in the Pallava inscription. So the whole kingdom of Rashtra was divided into a number of administrative units, Kotam and Nadus. Kotam was under the supervision of the officers appointed by the king. Village or Grama was the smallest administrative unit. To look after the administration of villages, there were many local assemblies which were autonomous in nature. Sabha or Ur were the most important among them. The Sabha were generally found in Brahmodaya villages granted to the Brahmanas. And there were assemblies whose members belonged to the Brahmin caste. The Ur consisted of the people from different castes who were non-Brahmins. The self-governing assemblies were involved in performing tasks such as managing temples, repairing irrigational tanks, doing charitable works. ଅତି ଜନହିତକର କାମ ସବୁ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ଟେମ୍ପଲ୍ସ ପରିଚାଳନା ପାଇଁ ଜଳର ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଚାଷ ଜମି ପାଇଁ ପାନୀୟ ପାଇଁ ଜଳର ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଟ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଗୁଡ଼ିକର ରିପେୟାରିଂ କରିବା ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ସବୁ କରୁଥିଲେ ଯେଉଁଟାକି ପ୍ରଜାମାନେ ତାହା ଉପଭୋଗ କରୁଥିଲେ doing charitable works ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ସ୍ଥାନରେ ଏସବୁ charitable works ହେଉଥିଲା ଦାତବ୍ୟ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ସବୁ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ଦାନ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ସବୁ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା So the villages assembly were functioning in different parts of the Pallava dynasties and were very important for the efficient functioning of the villages. A lot of aspects related to their functions and their relations to the central government are not known. So there was no tax which collected from Devadanas, the land granted to temples, Agraharas, the land settled by Brahmins, Brahmodaya, the lands given to the Brahmins, Demanandatharu, Devadanas, Agraharas, Brahmodaya, Tharu, tax Adya Parajavanatila. Other types of tax such as only tax, Bakara Adya Parajavanatila, Irai, Khana, Ujji, Pattam, this is tax that collected from the potters. Isukana was tax collected from the tax potter. Toddy tappers, oil presser, goldsmith, cattle breeders, washer, men, textile manufacturers, etc. also paid taxes. Two types of taxes were collected from the villages. विप्रकार कर गाँव आदाय कर land revenue. Peasants were obliged to pay. Peasants कृषक मैंने ତାଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦାୟର ଜମିର ଯେଉଁ ଉତ୍ପାଦ ହେଉଥିଲା 1/6 to 1/10 ଏଭଳି କର ଦିଆଯାଉଥିଲା. This was collected by the village and given to the state collector. The second type of tax was local in nature. Tapre Pandya rulers were vendors, ground kings. Like the Pallavas, the nature of their monarchical rule was very hereditary. Pandav manakara tankara madhya ରାଜ ରାଜ୍ୟ ସବୁ ବା ମୋନାର୍ଚିଆଲ ରୁଲ୍ ସବୁ ବଂଶାନୁକ୍ରମିକ ଥିଲା. War of succession were also evident. The highest court of justice was the Sabha or Mandram. ସେତେବେଳେ ପାଣ୍ଡ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟରେ ସଭା ଥିଲା, କୋର୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ସଭା କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା କିମ୍ବା ମଣ୍ଡରାମ କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା. The kingdom of the Pandyas was divided into mandalayams, the provinces, and mandalams were divided into nachis or bhalantitas, sub-provinces. A nadu was comprised of many villages. Nadu, it was comprised of many villages who looked after the village administration. The following 5 variants by committee were appointed. ପାଞ୍ଚଟି କମିଟି ଗଠନ କରାଯାଇଥିଲା. Nearly lie variants, army lion variants, Mandian variants, Hari Thandal variant, and Nidhi variants. So the variants became the distinguishing feature of the village organization. ତାପରେ ଇକୋନୋମିକ୍ସ କ'ଣ ଥିଲା, ଆର୍ଥିକ ଦିଗ ମଧ୍ୟ ସଚଳ ଥିଲା ସେହି ସମୟରେ. Hwetsan who visited Kanchipuram records the Pallava capital in his celebrated account, according to which the Pallava territory was very fertile land and hence the agricultural sector flourished. Agriculture production was high. Hwetsan ଯେତେବେଳେ କାଞ୍ଚିପୁରମକୁ ଭ୍ରମଣ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯାଇଥିଲେ, ସେ ପଲ୍ଲବ ମାନଙ୍କର ରାଜଧାନୀ ଠାରୁ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ରେକର୍ଡ ପାଇଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଥିଲେ ଯେ ସେଠି ଯେଉଁ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର ବା କୃଷି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେଉଁ ଜମି ଅଛି ଅତି ଜମି. Agriculture production was high. ସେଠିରେ ଚାଷ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବା ଚାଷୀ ବହୁତ ଥିଲେ, ଚାଷ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ବହୁତ ହେଉଥିଲା, ଚାଷ ଉତ୍ପାଦନ ବହୁତ ହେଉଥିଲା. The forest lands were also used for cultivation. So the forest not only provided timber and elephants but also helped in the expansion of the agricultural land. Hwetsan ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଲେ ଯେ ସେଠି ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଜମିକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଚାଷ ହେଉଥିଲା, ଚାଷ ପାଇଁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରାଯାଉଥିଲା. ପଲ୍ଲବ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜଳ irrigation facility, ଯେଉଁ ଚାଷ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ for the promotion of agriculture in various parts of the kingdom ଜଳର ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ମଧ୍ୟ କରିଥିଲେ. Many irrigation tanks were made. Some have survived till today. So agriculture was the first or foremost parts of aspect of economy. The Pandyas especially had a prosperous trade, both internal and external. Different kinds of merchants and traders of Pandyas sold gold, plowshare, cloth, etc. They were organized into many merchant villages. Those engaged in external trade were called Parvas or Paratovaras. So there were some boards for the development of the economic system. Korkai, Koyal, Peria, Pattinam, ଏସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ପାଣ୍ଡମାନଙ୍କର ବୋଟ୍ ଥିଲା, ବନ୍ଦର ଥିଲା। ତାପରେ then the Kalachuri also enjoyed a flourishing economy. The Kalachuri of Tripuri controlled a territory which was rich in mineral resources. He was the supreme lord of lands in each domain. Their institutions so that he donated entire village, and such donations were made only by him. The kingdom had the monopoly over mines and other such reserves of valuable resources. The lands granted to the Brahmins by the king made this priestly class socially and economically powerful. Though the Kalachurich of Cheti was very rich in forest land, this enabled them to fully utilize the forest products and develop their industries. The growth of woodwork, Kathokamo, the Buddhi, trading industries was especially fostered due to their easy access to the forest for raw materials. जंगल जात द्रव्य सब से मैंने कंचामाल हिसाब से पाउथले ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଅତି ସହଜରେ ଅନେକ ଶିଳ୍ପ जो जात द्रव्य सब ସେମାନେ କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ। Other industries prevalent during this period. ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଥିଲା ତାଙ୍କ ସମୟରେ, କାଲାଚୁରୀ ସମୟରେ। ସେଗୁଡ଼ିକ ହେଉଛି ମାଇନିଂ, ଅଏଲ ମାଇନିଂ, ଟେକ୍ସଟାଇଲ, metal, liquor manufacturing, and stonework, ପଥର କାମ ଶିଳ୍ପ ସବୁ ଥିଲା। Several activities concerning internal trade were conducted at Mandapika. All products to be sold in the market were taxed. These products were then sold in Bhithis or such. Bhithis, दुकान मान को Bhithis कहा। The capital of the Kalachurs of Cheti. Tripuri was the capital of the Kalachurs of Cheti. Was the place through which many trade routes passed. So this must have given their economic boost. तापर हमें सोसाइटी अति सुदृढ़ समाज व्यवस्था थिला। इस समय सामाजिक स्तर रे ताकर अनेक गुड़े शिक्षा व्यवस्था, शिक्षालय सब थिला एवं से शिक्षा केंद्र गुड़िक टेम्पल बा मंदिर सहित अटैच थिला। Ghaticus, Mathas, Matha. The wealthy temples had skilled musicians, singers and dancers in their service. The practice of employing female temple dancers evolved into the Devodasi system. ଯେତେବେଳେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେବଦାସୀ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଥିଲା, ସେମାନେ ଦେବତାକୁ ସନ୍ତୁଷ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ नृत्य करुथिले। देवदासी सिस्टम। Female temple dancers were honored for their skill. The Bhakti movement, which flourished under the Pallavas, created a major impact on their social structure. Bhakti आंदोलन और सामाजिक व्यवस्था को अति सुंदर भाव में प्रभावित किया, शृंखलित करिथिला। Growing influence of the Bhakti cult in this region led to the lessening of the influence of Buddhism and Jainism. The saints, poets, and poetesses of the movement belong to different castes from both high and low. Brahmins, Banigars or traders, Bellas, agriculturists, Uyabharas, potters, vendors, hunters. So the caste system was an important aspect of Pallava society. Each caste was organized into occupational classes which were hereditary in nature. So the caste and occupation of an individual were interrelated. caste distinction played a vital role in the Pandyan society. Actually. So the king was at the top of the social hierarchy, followed by the Arivats, Ulavats, Porupans, the warrior class, Ayars, shepherds, Hedivars, hunters, artisans, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, etc. So, the Pallava society, the temples in the Pandyan temple kingdom were more than religious establishment. Religious establishment. They had social and economic functions as well in the religious establishment. They received legacy gifts from the kings, princes, and rich merchants. Such rich endowments made them the centers of many cultural activities, such as dance, music, singing, jewel making. So, many temples had libraries which facilitated education. Temples were attached with library which facilitated education. शिक्षा ପାଇଁ ସହାୟ ହେଉଥିଲା ମନ୍ଦିରମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲାଗିକରି ତାଙ୍କର ଗ୍ରନ୍ଥାଗାର ବା ଲାଇବ୍ରେରୀ ସବୁ ଥିଲା ଯେ ସବୁ ପୁସ୍ତକ ଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ ପଢ଼ିକରି ତାଙ୍କ ରାଜ୍ୟର ଲୋକମାନେ ସେମାନେ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆହରଣ କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ. The study and the recitation of the Vedas and Purana were carried out then. ସେଇଠି ବେଦ ଆବୃତ୍ତି କରାଯାଉଥିଲା, ପୁରାଣ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇଠି ପଠନ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା, ଶୁଣାଯାଉଥିଲା, ପୁରାଣ ପାଠ ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଉଥିଲା. The Kalachuri rulers also gave land grants to Madhaj and such educational institution attached to it to the temple. Temple ମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଅନୁଷ୍ଠାନ ସବୁ ଥିଲା. ମଠ ମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ମଧ୍ୟ ମଠ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ସହିତ ଶିକ୍ଷାନୁଷ୍ଠାନ ସବୁ ଥିଲା ଯେଉଁଥିରେ କି ଲୋକମାନେ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ. ତାପରେ ଧର୍ମ, the real patronage, the rise of Bhakti movement during the Pallava period also led to the popularity of Brahmanical religion. Brahmanical religion in their kingdom. The Pallavas contributed to the growth of Brahmanical religion. Brahmanya Hindu dharma ତାଙ୍କ ରାଜ୍ୟରେ ସେମାନେ ଥିଲା. Bhakti movement during the Pallava period also led to the popularity of Brahmanical religion. Like the Pallavas, the Pandyas rulers to perform Vedic sacrifices. ପାଣ୍ଡବମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଶାସକମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ବୈଦିକ sacrifices ବଳି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ମଧ୍ୟ ଥିଲା. The worshipper of Vedic deities, Vedic ଦେବଦେବୀଙ୍କୁ ସବୁ ପୂଜା କରୁଥିଲେ. The Brahmanas held a high position in Tamil society. Tamil society, Tamil ସମାଜରେ ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ମାନଙ୍କର ତାଙ୍କର ଉଚ୍ଚ ପୋଜିସନ ଥିଲା, ଉଚ୍ଚ ସ୍ଥାନ ଥିଲା. Tamil during the Sangam age was divided into 5 main tenets or physiographic division. The occupation and the deity worshipped by the people were related to the religious enacted by them. Then we have to discuss about the Kalachuri of Chedi gave real patronage of Brahmanical religion. Brahmanical religion, especially to Saiva dharma ମଧ୍ୟ ଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ. ବୈଷ୍ଣବ ଧର୍ମ, ଶୈବ ଧର୍ମ ଏସବୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେତେବେଳେ ଥିଲା. ଲୋକମାନେ ଶିବ ଭକ୍ତ ଥିଲେ, ଶୈବ ଭକ୍ତ ଥିଲେ, ବିଷ୍ଣୁ ଭକ୍ତ ଥିଲେ. ସାହିତ୍ୟ, ସେତେବେଳେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହୋଇଥିଲା, ସାହିତ୍ୟ ରଚନା କରାଯାଇଥିଲା ସାହିତ୍ୟ ମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା. The literature during the period of the Pallavas was both religious and secular, but largely religious in nature. ସେତେବେଳେ ଯେଉଁ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ଧର୍ମୀୟ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ଏବଂ ଅନେକ ସମୟରେ ଲୌକିକ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ମଧ୍ୟ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରାଯାଉଥିଲା। ସଂସ୍କୃତ ଏବଂ ତାମିଲ ଲିଟରେଚର ସେତେବେଳେ ଉନ୍ନତିର ଚରମ ସୀମାରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଥିଲା। Both Sanskrit and Tamil literature flourished during this time. The court of the Pallavas ruled granted royal patronage to Sanskrit literature, Sanskrit Sahitya. The Tamil literature received an impetus with the growth of Bhakti movement. Several Nayars or Nayamars, devotee of Shiva, Nayamars, devotee of Shiva, poet saint H. Alvar. Alvar means devotee of Vishnu. Nayanor কিংবা নয়ামর এମାନେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ଶୈବ ଭକ୍ତ ଶିବ ଭକ୍ତ ଏବଂ ଅଲଭର ଏମାନେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ବିଷ୍ଣୁ ଭକ୍ତ। ଉଭୟ ଶ୍ରେଣୀର ଉଭୟ ଭକ୍ତ ସେମାନେ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ରଚନା କରୁଥିଲେ। Great importance which we look at now, the Pallava rulers largely patronized Sanskrit learning and culture. Sanskrit was their root language. Pallava ଶାସନରେ ପଲ୍ଲବ ବଂଶ ଶାସନରେ ସଂସ୍କୃତ ଥିଲା ତାଙ୍କର root language. So Dandin adorned the court of the Pallavas king Narasimha Varman II. He wrote Dasa Kumara Charita and Avanti Sundara Ikotha in Sanskrit. Not only the court of the Pallavas had prominent poets and authors, but also attracted poets from the royal court. So, some important literary figures during the Kalachurich of Ratanpur: Rudra Shiva, Rajaguru, Babu Revaram, Shiva Datta Shastri, Gopal Prasad Mishra. The noted works of Babu Revaramar, Ratna Parikya, Brahma Stuta, Vikrama Bhilasa, Bandala Hiri, Ramayana Dipika, etc. Gopal Prasad Mishra wrote Khub Tamasa, which is a critical amount of the administration of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. They wrote Bhakta Chintamani, Sundama Charita, Sudama Charita, and Rama Prata. So, thereafter art and architecture were also developed during the time of or in the kingdom of Deccan and the south. The Pallavas and the Pandyas used granite, which is a type of hard rock for the construction of their temples. Unlike soft rocks, cutting and sharing hard rocks is not easy. It requires very skilled artisans. It is believed that possibly the cave temples commissioned by the Pallavas and the Pandyas were made by artisans, same artisans. So, in South India, rock cut architecture laid the foundation of the Dravidian style of architecture. The Pallavas are credited with the introduction of this style. So, Mahendra style, Mahendra Varman first was also known by the royal title Chakravarti. According to him, Mahendra style was developed. Thereafter, Mamala style, Narasimha Varman or Mamala is well known for its temple building activity. So, according to him, the style was Mamala style. So, Pallava's architecture occurred during this time. It witnessed steady transition from the rock cut style to the construction of the monolithic structure. It is well known for the construction of the 7 pagodas or the monolithic rathas at Mahabalipuram. Thereafter, Rajasimha style. Narasimha Varman II or Rajasimha constructed structural temples which were constructed by using blocks of rock placed one upon the another. Aparajita style, under this style, the temple built were very ornate in style, ornate. Beautiful images of kings and their queens are also shown, which can be noted as one of the important characteristics of the style. So, next we discuss about the characteristics of the architectural structure of the Pandyaj in many ways. Appears similar to the architecture of the Pallavas, as we have seen earlier in their respective regions. The Vishnu kept temples at Malaya, Dhipati. Shiv kept temple as Malaya, Satyagiri Swara kept temple at Tirumayam. Then Oribhokoi kept temple at Sitana Bhasal, which is a Jaina temple, Jaina Dharma, Jaina kept temple. And Karparaka Vinayaka kept temple at Pillai Verpati. We find significant changes in the architectural style in Pandya kingdoms, contributed to the development of the Dravidian school of architecture. So, at Tirunelveli are some of the significant examples of the temples of Pandyan Empire. The Kalachuris also made their contribution in the field of art and architecture. They are credited to have excavated many caves. For example, cave number 6 and 7 of the Buddhist caves at Aurangabad and some caves of Elephant, Ellora and Jogeshwari. So there are many temples constructed during the time of Kalachuri dynasty. So now we discuss about unit number 6, the Kadambas, the Chalukyas, the Badami, Cholas and the Hoysalas. So the Kadambas initially emerged prominent around Talagunda. In the northwestern Karnataka around 345 CE. The center of their political activities was Banavasi region. That is why they are also commonly known as Kadambas of Banavasi. Kadamba of Banavasi, Banavasi Kadamba, Kadambas of Hangala, the Kadambas of Goa. So both claim the title of Banavasi Pura Bharathi Swara, suggestive of their claims over the capital Banavasa. The Kadambas of Goa governed from Chandrapura and Kopatana, while the Kadambas of Hangal retained their base at Banavasi. So there are the king and his officials. There was King Jayakesi first achieved the title of Kunkang Dhisa Konkana Chakravarti, Lord of Konkana, Paschima Samudra Vishwara, Lord of the Western Ocean. Gubhala II had his own Mantri Parisada. It is an inscription of 1000 54 CE, Vikramadev is described as Mahamandaleswara. So, specific functionaries of the court officers like Mone Bhagrede of the household, Tantrapala, counselors, Pradhana, head, known as head, Tambula, Karupate Gura, keeper of the battlefield. So similarly, there was also the presence of Mahabhatraj, Rajuka, and Lekhaka. They had great roles, and they were assisted to the king. Kadambas owned their prosperity largely in their maritime activities. The capital of Kadambas of Goa, Chandpur, was an important maritime trade. The Chalukyas of Badami. In the reign of Pulakes II, that the Chalukya territory expanded to a large extent. The Ganga ruler of South Karnataka and the Alupas of the west coast were made their subordinates. More or less, the whole of Kannada-speaking area was brought under one rule. Pulakes II tried to control the whole of Deccan by undertaking an expedition into the eastern Deccan and coastal Andhra comprising the delta of Krishna and the Godavari rivers. So, the Chalukya polity in chief. High-sounding titles were used by the rulers to express their very uncertain powers. The title of Chalukyan kings were as follows: Satya Sraya, Sri Prithvi Vallabhya, Maharaja, Paramaheswara, and Maharajadhiraja. These were the titles. It was not a centralized kingdom. The kingdom of Chalukya was not a centralized kingdom. Chandrika Rajyamatila. So, the copper plates granted bestowed by the Chalukya kings refer to Visayapati, Samantas, Gramo, Bhogikas, Maha, Rattaras, etc. Thus, the administrative system was not centralized. However, Visayapatis were royal personnel, played by the smallest part of the administrative system. Gramunda was the royal representative at the village level. Gastore, Gramunda Mudhila, Rajajo, Pratiniti. Daro, समस्त सुविधा असुविधा समस्या समाधान ग्रामीण नहीं करते. Administration. The officers with impressive designations like Mahasadhi Vigrahaka, Mahadandanayaka, and so on were appointed from among the king's men of the royal family. So, this politics may be best understood as loosely it chiefs under a more powerful dynasty control with a monarchy supported by the Brahmanical order and institutional means. It was a scale of formation which had the potential of tilting in favor of the mightier among the ruling powers. So, the prosody of the Cholas were based on the Itihasa Purana tradition. The dominance of the Sanskrit and the Brahmanical tradition is well attested. The Cholas were also ascribed to the legacy of the Sangam period, the genealogies of the Cholas attribute eminent and prestigious lineage to the king to legitimized position as king. So the Cholas, as a ruling power, rose to eminence in the 9th century when Vijayawala seized Tanjavur from a feudatory chiefs of the Pallavas called Muttarayas. The Cholas were able to establish control over Pallavas territory and subdue the Pandyan powers. The Cholas traced their origin to the Suryavansa mythical tradition are mentioned in the inscriptions, especially in the Prasasti containing the genealogies. So, local administration, Chola copper plate evidence refers to the following while executing the land grant. Natta, Brahmadeva, Ilabhar, Devoda, Gano, Palik, Tando, Koni Burutu, Hetta Peru, Urkalurol. The cultivators were generally referred to as bhellas. The function of the wood included supervision of village lands, activities related to sale, purchase, and gift. An important prerequisite for becoming a member of the wood was to be a holder of land. From the inscriptional evidence, we come to know that the members of the wood also possess the title like Uddayan, Ilan, Helan, Perarayan. All these titles point to land holding. Thus, the epigraphical testimony enables us to infer that or was a group assembly of non-Brahmins land holders of a village. Nadus were named after a village which formed a part of a nadu. Inscriptional evidence indicates that in several nadus, the main village was Brahmadeva or land given to Brahmins. So, several nadus did not have Brahmadeva. Suprayalu refers to increase in nadus from the 9th century CE. Nadus emerged in fertile areas which had more villages and later spread to very less fertile areas. So there are several inscriptions which gave us information about Nadus. The Ranur inscription of 1310 refers to the room of village, Nanchi, Terun, Sevhar, Hirakuti is collected for Nadugar, Hada, Chirubhai Nadu. So, Brahmadevas constituted the category of Brahmanas, who were landholders in the agricultural tracts and who had been endowed with land tax-free and had organized themselves into a district group. Nagaram comprised of traders who carried out trading and exchange activities in the trades, which had developed into commercial centers. Commercial centers on account of the food in craft production and other activities carried out by artisans. The Cholas emerged as an important ruling power in the middle of 9th century CE. So the Brahmadeva settlements where the temples played a pivotal role lost importance in the later phase of the Chola period. After mid-11th century CE, we find fewer Brahmadeva trades and more temples were constructed and the old ones were improved upon sometimes. Nagaram settlement. Nagaram settlement was a tract where traders and other lives. In insertion of 1036 CE from Chidambaram distinguishes between non-Brahmins inhabitants of superior status. Sankara Patiyars, lower groups, and Dhyaparin higher groups, plus 3 other groups, Bhelas, Satyas, Pattinavars, the subordinates workmen were Takkar, Kalha, Tattar, Goldsmith, and Kaliyar weavers. So, in officials and chiefs, a number of officers were responsible for administration in the Chola kingdom. Number of officials and chiefs assisted to the kings in their administrative system. Adhikaris were the king's officers. They possessed the title Udayan, Kila, Kilabharam, Helam, Mubhendra, Helam, Brahma, Palabharam, like this. Chiefly nomenclature, sometimes more than one nomenclature was adopted. The office of Tirumantria Olai Nayakam was an important office associated with preparation of land grant documents. Land grant documents, office was there. The titles of these officers were Mubhendra, Bhelam, and Brahma. Mubhendra, Bhelam, and Brahma, Semane, land grant documents. Officer deputed Nadu to discharge their duties at the behest of the kings were Nachi Bhagur, who were revenue assessment officers. So there were some officers, ministers, chiefs, they helped to the kings in their administrative system. So their administrative system was powerful, consolidated. So now the Hoyasalas of Dwarasamudra is their commonly known in history, emerged in the Karnataka region and occupied prominence during 11th to 13th century in South India. So the Belura is the center of the activities, of their activities. So the boundary of Hoysala kingdoms, probably under Hoysala Pesar kingdoms, the boundary of the Hoysala kingdoms extended as far as Vikram, Nisardharam, or Ramesardharam, under Narasimha I, the son and successor of Vishnuvardhan. So, King and his officials. King was at the helm of affairs of the kingdom, duty was to restrain the evil and protect the good. In the Hoysala kingdom, crowned queens occupied special administrative authority. They had separate ministers and stewards, even at times led military campaigns. सामरिक अभियान समय से स्वतंत्र मंत्री सेनापति मानक नियुक्त करथिले। The king used to lead the military campaign personally. Generals were often given the command of leading campaigns. They were called senapati, commander, or samasta senadhipati, commander in chief. Each commanders were usually Brahmins. After the successful battles, commanders were granted badges of honor. Granting of battle leave was one of such mark of honor. Revenue grant were made to the dependents of generals, widow and children who died in the battlefield. So, land system, land revenue was there. Land revenue was the main source of state economy. Land tax was usually collected in kinds. ଚିକିତ୍ସା ଆକାରରେ ଜମି କର ଗ୍ରହଣ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା, ସଂଗ୍ରହ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା, ଆଦାୟ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା। Permanent revenue settlement was known as Siddhaya. Land was measured in combas. Combas द्वारा जमी को माप कराଯାଉଥିଲା, and which varied from place to place. However, besides land revenue, the list of burden of taxes upon common appears to be endless. Sunka was imposed upon individual assessing each settlement. Kumara and Kumara Ganiko was levied for crown things. Nibandha was taxed for payment of royalty and pension granted by the Raja. Sri Karana was levied for the maintenance of the NED or district treasury staff. So, a number of taxes were imposed to maintain king's records and list of burdens, war tax, separate orders, charges, khana, nibandha, and house contributions for king's houses during the campaign were taken. So there were other taxes: marriage tax, loom tax, oil press tax, tire tax, concubine tax, and so on. The reproach to the people. Agrahara villages were granted to Brahmins for their duty to get each lineage approximately 104 references of Agrahara's village in the Hoysala inscription. Trade, merchants, and the state. There was trade relation with Hoysala dynasty. Merchants were also there. Trade and commerce was also an important source of income of the Hoysala state. Tax on a merchandise was usually collected in case, अर्थात आदाय कराଯାଇଥିଲା. State was largely dependent on merchants for the supply of arms. Elephants, horses, and precious luxury animals. That developed a greater interdependence between the two. Some wealthy merchants were even granted high-sounding titles like Raja, Shreshtigal, or royal merchants, and regarded as the pillar of the towns. Puramulla Stambha. Merchants of Karnataka had contracts with Anga, Banga, Kalinga, Kashmira, Singhala, and Chandragupta. Merchants were even appointed as various administrative posts within the Naduj towns and at various other administrative posts. And even they appeared to take part in the campaigns. Merchants also appeared were taken part in the campaign to the time of emergency. So, merchants were also actively involved in reclamation of land, digging wells, building tanks, and other irrigation projects. Marasana Halli inscription of 1027 feet refers to an Palagesti, refers to an excavation of Oropamma tank. Oropamma tank, there was a tank named Oropamma for irrigation project. The tank was constructed for irrigation project at Sirihu, and a Swiss by Sakatya, son of Palagesti. It appears that in comparison to 11th century merchants, participation increased in the 13th century in building temples in the Hoysala state. Temples, the merchants constructed the temples also for worship of gods and goddesses. So, if any doubt, no doubt.
No, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Next class, we will discuss about another 3 units, unit 7, 8, and 9. You,
Tomorrow holiday, no?
yes?
Yes.
No, tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow holiday. Next, you come date 4th August,
Yes, sir.
in the same time.